Yeah, so today I wanted to talk about like how Google is laying off so many, like I saw it in the news today. So
Hmm.
Google is laying off employees, the
Hmm.
Python and the Flutter and that team.
Mhm. Well, I mean, there are different arguments. One of them is that they are finding, uh, people in a different place. They want to hire people for lower rates, maybe. So they are looking.
So that's what I was
Hmm.
reading.
Hmm.
So like there was a, I think there was a blog by Mint, if
Hmm.
I'm not wrong.
Hmm.
So they said that it could be that they are not hiring the people from United States, so
Hmm.
the labor charges are low.
Hmm.
So yeah, that could be a thing.
Of course, that creates a fear as well, right? When
Yeah,
Google
but
is
this is very sudden. I think
Hmm.
Google laying off like thousands of employees.
No, it's not sudden. Actually, they have been doing it from last year, and especially after, there's also argument about how AI is also taking, right?
Yeah, AI is
Hmm.
taking place like Devin, like
Hmm. But and
Actually, Devin, when it came, all the people were saying now all the coding people will get laid off. Like they were saying, and then this happened.
yeah, and but they are saying that it's not just because of
AI
AI, right? It's because they're looking for people for layer
lower.
wages, yeah, lower wages and stuff. But I think, of course, that will create a sort of fear in young people who are preparing for, you
Yeah,
know,
like which language should I take?
because now if there is no surety, as in if you are going to stay,
Yeah,
but
if
hmm,
someone takes
hmm,
C plus plus for an example,
hmm,
and they're coding it from some year for some years,
hmm,
and then suddenly all the C plus plus starts dropping really fast, then that will be really bad,
hmm,
as you have years of experience and it's all going to waste because you don't have any opportunities.
correct. So it will, and but I think instead of having that fear, it's very important that people build, couple of skills
Yeah, a
and
couple of more skills, so you're
hmm,
not dependent on coding
hmm,
only, so
hmm.
something like that.
Also, I think integrating your coding skill, existing coding skills along with AI, right? That will be like upskilling. For example, now that you're learning to, you know, understand how Flutter works, you're creating these codes,
Yeah.
but, you
So
know,
that's why
hmm,
one of the reason I chose Flutter is
hmm,
like as far as I am seeing, I'm not seeing any sudden drop in its demand, not such a hike in its demand. Also, I'm seeing that it's a cross development platform. I write one app of like one app, and then what happens is you can connect it with iOS, Android, and web.
hmm,
So so for other languages,
hmm,
for one language you need to code. We use the language learning app called Duolingo, right?
hmm, hmm, hmm,
So I use it on my phone,
hmm,
I see that there are some differences with it.
hmm,
But
hmm,
when I used your, I see there are some like pros in it.
hmm,
So like as if there like there are a difference in the two apps.
hmm, hmm,
So that could be because of the two programming languages. And
hmm,
then the team. It also depends on the team. So that team is fast, that team is slow.
hmm, hmm, hmm.
Yeah. So
That pretty much explains why Duolingo works differently on Android and iOS, right? I think the one on iOS is very smooth, isn't it?
smooth, and then you can move around the like wordings. You know how
Hmm.
you can move around the
Hmm.
words, and you get some other type of voice features in it.
So that's what I was saying, that even when somebody is learning to code now, uh, it's important that you also upskill in the sense that
Mm.
how, for example, the way you're using Flutter and you know how Flutter Flow works as well. So tomorrow, if there's a reduction in the job of
Yeah, I can leverage up Flutter Flow.
yeah, and then you can move on to Flutterflow and start using that. And it's very similar even for writing. If you see code, ChatGPT cannot completely replace your
Yeah,
writing, your personality, the way
because
you
because
write.
someone will be coding
Huh.
ChatGPT itself and updating it
Hmm.
itself. So
Actually,
Somewhat you need developers.
we have not actually used a lot of AI writing tools apart from ChatGPT, to be honest.
Yeah.
The other ones that I've used, uh, I can.
Right, Sonic,
I
Gemini.
don't. Gemini gives you complete fact, sort of. It just generates.
Yeah, and it has the latest information if you're asking about any products.
Mm-hmm. It summarizes it very well. So I think I heard Naval Ravikant talking about ChatGPT the other day, where he was saying that though it is a tool which helps you to write, it's good if you want to expand your writing, because if you have a small paragraph,
Yeah,
it
from
makes it
these
very flowery and it.
actually from these 4 to 5 days, I'm writing like
Hmm,
my blogs on my from my own writing, and I'm not
hmm,
using ChatGPT.
hmm, hmm.
Yeah.
And see, for you it happened in a reverse way, right? Like it's not that you started writing on your own too much and then you went to ChatGPT. What happened? You started writing a lot with ChatGPT first, and now you understood that what words they keep repeating,
Yeah.
and some of the lines are so annoying that you just felt like you want to write on your own. And some way it helped you to structure your writing, right? And
Yeah,
now
but
you're able.
sometimes it's like goes bad with the wordings.
Yeah, I think it's good for an outline. It's good.
Structure.
Yeah, that's what I said. Structuring, outlining. But if you want to add your own story, your perspective, then again, it makes more sense, because even I have felt that when I completely write on my own, it's more authentic, of course, but it is also very short and concise. It's not like like you have taken to something and it becomes something else,
Mhm.
right? It becomes like five six big paragraphs, huge paragraphs,
Yeah,
right?
so
Hmm.
so for the main thing is people about coding. If we come back,
Hmm.
like people will ultimately ask, should I learn Python or
That
Flutter or
will
not?
be a huge concern.
So for that, Python, like everyone says, is a very easy language. So Python, like yeah, it's bad for the Google employees that they're not going to work in Google anymore,
Hmm.
and they have to switch to other jobs, so they have to leave it.
Hmm.
So that's not good for them. So for Python, like
But Python demand as such is not going to go away, right?
yeah, Python has a
Hmm.
huge demand. So
That's what. So now people are still building a lot of websites, lot of now AI and ML is uh, a lot is done through Python, right? Integrating AI and ML. So that is anyways going to grow. It's not. Uh, but these bigger companies, they have come with they have more access to AI than other companies, right? Other companies will have to, smaller companies will have to pay in order to use these amazing AI softwares and stuff. But for bigger companies, it's easy for them to train people in AI. So I think couple of skills that young people will need. For example, adaptability, upskilling ability. You should be able to upskill. You should be able to learn couple of different skills so that you are not dependent on one thing, right? Keep your networks open so that anything like that happens, more people can reach out to other people and find work and keep learning, right? I think that is one challenge now we feel. Though we felt that when AI comes, it will become easy for people to code, it will become easy for people to write. But now it's going in the reverse way, right? Because now people are leaving jobs. So even if you cracked the system, you hacked how to do things, but now you don't have jobs. So what do we do? Right. So what do we do about it? I think it's important that one habit I think people will develop is understanding what I need, what I want to learn. We are not just blindly copying someone, right? And then follow the mass. Of course, India's economy is dependent heavily on IT.
yeah, on coding.
Yeah, and we know that there are so many jobs and so many young people are going on that path. Freelancers, people coming through engineering as well. We were reading this article today on Economic Times where it says that big IT sectors. Six big IT companies have, you know,
Infosys,
uh, Mahindra, another, many
there's
other.
one starting with W.
Wipro, you're saying?
Yeah, Wipro.
Yeah, so they have made like 72, not laid off, they have cut down on 72,000 employees or something like that. That's a huge number.
Yeah, I think
Hmm.
Tesla is also doing that, right? I'm not sure.
We read somewhere that Tesla is also laying off. There was a story of this man who was
Yeah.
laid off overnight, and he just spoke to his manager and found out that there won't be any job. And so I think when people have experiences, it will be experiences and
Yeah, at least you
projects.
have a backup skill just in
Hmm.
case. So yeah.
Mhm. So yeah, I think that's something very important
Yeah,
now.
so like
Hmm.
coding is really untestable now. So
Hmm.
what if like Dart and Flutter gets like so much high that there's like so much demand, or like anything can happen in the coding
Hmm.
industry now.
Hmm. I mean, of course, there will be more opportunities for people when it comes to AI,
Mhm.
right? So, but we don't know where it will go, how fast that
Yeah.
opportunity is going to go away. We don't know that. So it is very unpredictable now, as in where you should work, what you should learn. But I mean, here is a place where something like life learning comes into picture, right? Lifelong
Mhm.
learning, where you're not scared to
Yeah, so
learn.
then ones who don't have jobs by Google and they didn't get another job,
Hmm.
now they can start like learning in other language,
Hmm.
or they can try some other skills, right?
Hmm. 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 Or maybe build if they had some dream
Mhm.
projects. And of course, then we need investing, and then it's tough. The path is tough. Maybe some people
Yeah,
can
like
come together and build something that they have wanted to do.
yeah,
Again,
like
that's
some
not
app.
easy. Again, that's not easy, but I think that will help. But this suddenly that there was this, many people, young people were dreaming that coding will make their life easy,
Mm.
and we know that there are so many coders from India, right? You see most of these Flutter, Dart
Yeah,
coders,
most of the
Python.
videos are like by Indians.
You see most these YouTube videos are from Indian coders. You see they are everywhere. The freelancers, and they
LinkedIn,
are employed
yeah,
everywhere, and more people are learning. I don't know how more and more Indians are hacking this, and they are ready to learn. Many people learned this and during COVID, and they got jobs. It was
yeah, because
something.
coding is a really easy thing because there
Hmm.
are a lot of jobs. Jobs are not going to get
Hmm.
less for coding. It's only going to be the same or going to go more,
Hmm.
because even if you want to create an AI tool
Hmm.
now, in today's like thing,
Hmm.
so like you still have to code the AI to create AI, to create
Exactly.
code.
Hmm.
So you're coding it to create code. So still someone will be there.
Exactly. Even when you have an automated tool, like you said, somebody will have to make
Like
it
there's black
automated.
box AI, okay?
Huh.
So like the coder must have needed to code the whole AI
Mhm.
so that black box can perform these
Mhm.
tasks.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly. That happens with Flutterflow as well, right?
Mhm.
Somebody has coded it for others to use it easily.
Yeah.
So that is why we saw that I think 2 years before we saw that there was increase in these no code apps, right? People were building through no code, whether it's
Mhm.
website. You have many
You have
websites.
card, you have
Uh,
Flutterflow, you have more.
so you have these no code websites where you can just
Yeah, but the thing is, no code websites is you can't go full functional as you would in a, in the old styling line to line code, because you can customize every
Of
single
course,
thing.
see, that will always be there. No, if something is, you will always miss. But I think they will
Yeah,
all.
and Flutterflow, like as I know,
Hmm.
most of the Flutter widgets, they have tried to put almost like you know much as they can, because
Hmm.
there's almost everything on Flutterflow, but still not
Hmm.
like if you would code Flutter yourself.
So I was reading this interesting article today on skill-based hiring, and I was also writing one. And I realized that so many companies are looking for skill-based, instead of having a generic degree. like if a 4 year degree versus what kind of skills you have. And there are many founders who are talking about, they are looking at attitude of people who are coming to their work. you know it's not just about you being able to do a certain code, or you being able to, you just knowing Python, for example. I mean, of course, that is important if they're hiring for a particular thing, but at the same time, your attitude to learn, your attitude to be curious, is something that most of them say is very important. Because if you are employed for something and you don't want to learn, then eventually you will not be able to grow. Things we need to reflect. We are talking a lot about this on our website.
Yeah.
We are creating a lot of posts regarding this. So
Yeah, because this is a serious topic.
Mhm.
Google laying off so much people, and yeah,
and I think this is going to be a hot topic in coming days as well, because it is going to
least for a
influence. Yeah, it is going to influence. See, I can only imagine the kind of fear young people will have who are learning these skills, and they might be scared.
imagine someone who's learning Python,
Hmm.
and their dream job is Google. They must have been so frightened that now I'm
Exactly, yeah. Especially this combination, because so many Google employees are going there making these very appealing videos of them working in these offices,
That's
cubicles,
Microsoft.
the entire Microsoft, even Google.
Oh.
The offices are empty. These guys are going, they're
Yeah,
showing,
I saw it.
especially
There's so
Indians are
many.
going and making these videos where they're having free snacks and free coffee, and how their life is good. And it really, many young people watch it and they think that, oh, this life is great, right? And they start working towards it. Of course, it's not wrong to believe
Have
in
a dream.
yourself or have a dream, but again, I'm saying that it
Yeah, like
doesn't make sense to just copy someone. It makes more sense that we all reflect and see. And I
Yeah.
think there are so many other things that people can find close to their heart that they can really do, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then. Thank you for catching up. And it was great discussing. See you again. Bye bye.
Bye. Peace.